Hello, I'm Verissa Garcia, and I am a current student in Psych 5, biological psychology, and I'm just pretty much going to give you an overview of how OER has benefited me and my educational experience. Um, I have benefited from OER both financially and intellectually. Being a mother of four, it takes a lot of stress off. It takes a lot of the financial burden with the OER program and how they are allowing us to access our books online for free. It does take a lot of the stress off being a full time student as well. It's hard enough to pay for college, but it's even harder to pay for books. Um, so financially, yeah, it's really helped me. Intellectually, I believe that the OER comes from like a realist perspective. I feel like the open discussions, the projects, the videos, everything that comes through the different way of learning and the different way of teaching. I think I've really benefited from it. I've really learned a lot, and it's opened up a lot of different views for me as far as education. I believe it's going to help me in the long run, being a psychology major and really having to deal with daily, daily experiences. It's really going to help me take in and learn from how I'm being taught, and you know, and use that in my field. As far as collaborating with my peers outside of the classroom, I feel like that's a very convenient thing. Like I said, I'm always busy. I don't always have time, to get through or email the instructors. And so being able to collaborate outside of the classroom is really awesome. Just to get answers to questions, to get help, and for me, inside the classroom, I tend to get a little nervous. I tend to get a little scared, I guess, to raise my hand, to ask questions. So collaborating outside of the classroom is awesome for me because it takes a lot of the anxiety off, and I'm able to, talk to some of my peers, and not have to do it in front of the whole class. So that's really awesome for me too as well. I love stepping away from traditional textbooks, lectures, and tests. I honestly, I mean, even though I'm pretty much used to it because we've been doing it our whole entire lives, I feel like it helps us to learn differently. We discuss it, like helps us to have open discussions about real life topics. It allows us to express ourselves rather than sit there and listen to a lecture for 2 hours. It helps us to really express ourselves as individuals as well, and it helps us to learn and reflect off of what is being taught in the classroom, and it helps us just to take it in really well, instead of cramming in, all this information, and and having only so much time, and then we got to take a test on it. Like, it's hard for me, a full-time student, mother of four. It's hard for me to remember all these terms, all these vocabulary, all these facts. It's very hard and stressful to do that in a certain amount of time before I have to take a test. And I don't always get to study. I don't always get to have a moment to sit down and and really taking in all this information. And So being able to step away from that, take a lot of that pressure off, you know, it's really helpful. It's really, really helpful. I think, having to discuss things in class or watching videos or doing these projects that I've done in past classes, it really helps you to take it in a different way, and and really remember. And I'm always going to remember, like, one of these projects that I did, we had to build a brain in order to learn about the brain. And I'm never going to forget that. And so it's for me, it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to take in the information that we're learning, instead of having to cram it and feel that pressure of having to do all these things and remember all these things. And and just taking in little by little, getting a little information here, watching a video here, doing a project here, and not having so much stress and pressure that, boom, you forget everything. And so for me, I think it's an awesome thing. It's an awesome thing. And and I think stepping away from traditional education is a good thing. I really do. Just having the pressures of family life, jobs, you know it's hard to take in all that information. It really is. And I really enjoy the OER way of teaching. So being able to learn the concepts in my own way, and and learn on my own, in my own ways, I think it's a really good thing. It's opened up a new way of understanding concepts and real world perspectives, and not just by the book, each term by the book, and having to read, a whole, 60, 70 page chapter. It's, it's good for me. It's good for me. Let me see. I have learned more from this style of teaching, because it allows me to, like, learn different ways. It allows me to do more hands-on things. The videos that we go over and watch, it allows us to see the world through different perspectives, and different atmospheres by watching these videos. Some of the videos are, like, from Africa. Some of the videos are from, different other foreign countries, to compare and contrast what we go through, what they go through. And, and to be able to do that, I mean, you can read it in a book, but not all of us take it in that way, and being able to see it, hear it, and learn from it, I think is way, way better. I really feel like this style of learning helps to connect with students, rather than just sitting there and, being bored and wanting to get out of class, wanting to leave. I think it would get the kids, the students more involved, and, want to be there, want to learn, and want to be involved as well. So to the instructor that's trying to switch, I would try to say, I believe that, I think if you start to teach in this OER way, I think it would help to relate to students. I think it would help them to relieve a lot of pressure and stress. I think that it would get students more involved. and really, really enjoy your class and really want to be there. I think it would put a lot of encouragement into finishing your class and not, you know, give that reason to students to want to quit and to want to leave your class because it's boring. And a lot of the younger students, they're just coming out of high school. They don't want to sit and lecture for 2 hours and get nothing out of it because they're bored out of their mind. You know, I think, you know, the way you allow OER to integrate to your class, I believe it would, really intrigue students, encourage students, and really get them involved rather than them, spacing out. For the student, I think it would help them, like encourage them to stay and encourage them to learn more. If you're showing videos and getting them involved and having open discussions, this allows them to be themselves and really, share their perspectives on things and, figure out real life solutions and you know, real life problems and talk about them and really be able to express yourself rather than just sit there and us listen to you or the instructor. And, you know, I think it would really get students involved and really encourage them to keep, um, pursuing their educational degrees and stuff. And I really think it would be a big encouragement for them. If all classes were were like this. You know, it's just helped me a lot. It's just helped me as a student really relieve a lot of pressure and a lot of stress and really get myself involved in these classes and really learn and take in a lot of what I'm being shown and what I've been taught. And it has allowed me to connect with some of my teachers as well, and has encouraged me to keep going. And hopefully, I'll be graduating soon. So I really, I really encourage instructors to integrate OER in their classrooms. Thanks.